Let me. Wow. Tumekubo.
So now I was looking to see if I can sing as well. Sorry. But
Should we talk about your TikTok addiction?
Yeah. Welcome to the Naked Ego. We already started.
In the middle of the podcast.
I didn't know there was no indication to say we started. I thought we were just chapping stories.
Yeah, so this guy basically, he's reversed age himself. Yeah. So he has a protocol that he observes. It gives the menu, what he eats, how he sleeps, his workout, everything, right? So he's actually operating at, like his body is operating at 100% optimum levels. He does not look human. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe that's the wrong way to say it. Mm-hmm. Like for me, he has no like that fabric that you feel, okay, this person feels
real.
Alive. Let me show you. His before and after.
How does he measure? Okay, how does he measure it's physical?
He has an algorithm that he created for his body. So they tested everything in his body, everything. Mm-hmm. Even how his beard grows, but doesn't have a beard. Mm-hmm. It's not necessary for him. But like his hair, so everything is able to like give it exactly what it needs to be at optimum levels. Let me show you a before after.
He's called who again?
Brian Johnson. This is him before. This is him after. So yeah, your diet, your lifestyle obviously will impact your health.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for him, he says if you want to do like a simpler version of the protocol, take a tablespoon of olive oil every day and sleep. Mm-hmm. Just sleep. Like your body needs to rest. There's
you sleep after the oil or what?
No, get enough rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is enough rest? Like how many hours?
See, now he encourages you to use his protocol to find that for yourself. It's tech. It's what is it called?
Some
tech, health-related tech that they use.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can read further on it. But I thought it like he did a podcast with Steve. He's called what? Steve Barnett. Diary of a CEO, and I thought it was a very interesting point of view.
A YouTube short about it.
Because
yesterday,
please watch it. It's a very interesting podcast. Because for him, he wants to transfer his body's ability to keep him to make him live longer to the point where they can just transfer that algorithm to a new body, and if they can move his mind and his whatever, I could be wrong, I don't know, but like that's what I understood. They could move, this.
Yeah, when the technology catches up,
his body will have the capacity at optimum levels to transfer information, to have the information transferred.
Wow. Okay. Let me tell
now
you
tell the story.
The story.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's actually Dave Chappelle is the one who was talking about it, right?
I love Dave Chappelle.
So it's in that special of his that was very unpopular, especially like with trans people and I guess trans people mostly, and some women were offended, yeah. But because I also love Chappelle, and I sat through the entire special, and he was trying to give an analogy of a situation, right? So he says that there's this town, right? And this town is ravaged by, crime, and shit is just not going well. And, things are wrong. But one day a superhero comes to obviously I'm paraphrasing, yeah? One day there's a hero who can save them from these ongoings that are inconveniencing everyone. Everyone is affected, yeah?
Yeah.
So the hero does his job, yes? However, for him to save people or to make the quality of their life better, he has to rape someone, right?
Anyone.
So that was, that was the catch-22. It's like, that's how this guy is doing. He's doing a good job and he's helping a lot of people. But kuna watu wenye lazima
ndio
wataumia.
wafanye hii kitu.
Yes, so you have to. I mean, if you want him, you have to take him,
take
like,
him with,
with the bad. And the
Yeah.
entire premise of that sketch
Yeah.
was, I think he was trying to relate it to Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was during that Bill Cosby period, and there's a lot of bad that happened. But I think he wanted to give him his flowers by be like, he did the ABCD, but
Yeah.
someone had to be raped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the same R. Kelly context, right? Separating
Yes.
the
Yeah,
hero
the-
from the villain in this case, right?
the the person from the crime,
Yeah.
or the artistry from
The artist.
the human,
Yeah.
who does that thing.
So have you come to a conclusion about where you stand?
I mean, obviously, as a woman,
Yeah.
I will never stand for even just like
Wacha watu wakufe.
acha ka sisi wote tunakufa, acha tukufe.
What-
Other
wha-
people cannot be
what-
suffering doubly.
What if that
Then
guy
others.
was only raping men
Even
That is an injustice.
and men were okay with it?
The
I
point
mean, a
of
lot of
rape
booty
is that
boys
it
be
is not
coming up.
consensual. It is not consensual. You cannot
Anyway, yeah.
be okay with rape. Anyway, it happens. It is an act of. I'm trying to look for the word.
We had a difficult.
But you know, no.
Okay, go.
Come to think of it, it's for such a situation. It's easy to say no. Oh man, because of the level of what rap is. But sometimes when you're in that moment, in that city, experiencing the challenges in that city, sometimes you might think twice.
Listen, Bill, let me stop you there. I know you want to play devil's advocate.
No, I'm not playing at devil's
thing,
advocate.
the-
I'm just
It's
saying.
not
Yeah.
a cute look.
I'm just saying.
This is what I learned, yeah? Because even me, I stood on when this thing started, actually, we started it, we're a group of 3 friends, eh? We started it from R. Kelly. And me, I was sitting on the side of, you can separate the two. Yeah?
So when we talking about separating the two, is
Like
R.
you
Kelly
can
as
say,
a
like
person?
in the case of the superhero, you can say the superhero, kuna omse ana saving ni different, na omse ana rape ni different. You choose to separate. You look at the positive, yeah? Then I was introduced to a different
School of thought.
school of thought, a different side of like looking at it. And it was, as long as a positive times a positive can be a positive, right? A positive times a negative will never be a positive, right? So if you're going to talk about the positives, in that same breath, you should talk about the negatives. Because that thing
Yeah.
will never be looked at as 100% positive. Yeah. Yes, the goal is not to achieve 100% positivity, but you also have to quantify. If that someone does this thing and there's also a negative, the negative has to also see
has
the
to
light of day.
yeah.
Because that's the entirety of that, the institution of whatever that person is doing, their craft, who they are, has to be read in the same breath as the positive
The
and the
positive
negative.
and the
And the
negative.
positive and at times the negative will never become
A
a
positive.
positive.
What if it's a negative that is taking people from point A to B? So it's a negative, yes, but it's taking you from point A to point B. Point A to point B to some level in this city can be like, let's say lives are being saved. At the same time, there's a life being damaged. You get it?
So-
Like it's taking you from point A to point B. It doesn't mean now it's a positive. It's still a negative, yes. But it's taking you from point A to point B.
The
Like
ends justify the means, is what you're saying.
I'm just saying what if. I don't know.
I mean, okay, if we're looking at it from a rape perspective, yeah? Because there's this guy, the guy who did a revolution in Ghana. Was it Ghana? Jerry,
Senator?
I'm going to massacre. Jerry Rawlings. My tongue was doing some Mount Kenya stuff. Yeah, and he was being asked about like the war, right?
Yeah.
The war is not a social issue,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he was like, yeah, but the thing that you initiated caused a lot of damage. Like people died, and he was like, yeah, unfortunately, they did die. Yeah, they were collateral damage to the thing.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to like get myself in a kakichaka, but fine. So the argument was, for the sake of the country to be liberated, he had to do that thing. People had to die, and for them, they were only thinking about the bigger picture, right?
Yeah.
So for that particular event, there was collateral damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to apply that same school of thought to the city?
Yeah. Could be. Yes.
Collateral damage is allowed.
Could be. Yes.
What is the scale of collateral damage?
So if this guy lives in a city of 5 million people for
Forget about the numbers, give it a percentage. 5% is allowed in terms of the act. Even applied to you, if you're doing a thing and you have to like say steal or something to get to that thing. It's a way to, it's a means
man,
To an end.
to an end.
it's so interesting.
The consequences of that negative will not be positive for you.
Yeah, will not be
Yeah.
will not be a positive. Like it's. I'm just looking up most of the things, especially things that are revolutionary, things that are going to change either how we do things. They can't just come without collateral damage. I don't think so. Name one. I don't think so. So it's something that is it's just going to revolution the world, and it's just coming without collateral damage. I don't think so.
What, so for,
If
for that to be
there is,
changed?
yeah, for that to be that effective change, I feel like there should be some sort of collateral damage. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's very
I'm
hard
not
to.
convinced. There will be.
Yeah.
There will be. The scale of it is what I'm not.
I sort of get him, because when you think about an easy example is like independence. During independence, as much as people are looking for that freedom, there are people who during the time they were gaining, they were having a good time. They were sort of on the other side. So independence wasn't going to work out for them, but you need that independence. How many people paid for that who could have benefited from the independence? Just a wild example. And independence are rough.
So, are we saying that we apply a blanket an understanding to collateral damage for all issues?
All issues?
All issues, including a situation where people did not volunteer for that, to be part of that.
Yeah, sometimes.
Damage.
Yes, not everyone has the power to choose. Like, for example, in a society, if let's go back to the city, you get it. Not everyone has the power to choose in terms of what the collateral damage will be for the city to move forward. Not everyone has that choice. Some people are just chosen to be the people who are being raped. You get it?
No.
Yeah, like you are a victim. Like somebody that hero decides it's you. What are you going to do? You see, now it has got nothing to do with you. You are a victim. Yes, you've been chosen by the hero.
By the hero. So
Yes.
you're taking one for the team.
You're not even taking one to the team. You're just a collateral damage. You get it? Things have to happen. So, you know what? I was here, and then I'm like, I'm choosing Eddie because we are here. If I was at Lavington, I would have picked somebody from that area. It has got nothing to do with you. It's very random. Does it make sense?
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Collateral damage is collateral damage, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. Does not still make it positive. The fact that it has to look like that.
But how do you measure positive in this setup?
So now
This city?
we are going to say that at least people are being saved, right?
No. Like, I'm asking you, how do we choose? I'm not. For me, my basis is not on people are being saved.
Yeah.
It's a decision that is meant to help this city to move forward. You get it? It's that decision that has to be made to help this city to move forward.
What did Dave Chappelle say?
I can't even. It was too long ago. I can't remember the conclusion. I don't know. I've been trying to think about it, but it's not coming.
How did the R. Kelly argument turn out?
It took me a really long time, but like my understanding was a positive times a negative will never be a positive. Yeah.
Okay, what was the argument about?
It was, can you separate the artist from the art? That is where we started, yeah? Like, basically, are we cancelling R. Kelly's music was where that conversation started, yeah?
No, are you cancelling R. Kelly's music?
It's been cancelled.
No,
Personally,
as a
yes.
society, you
Personally, yes.
You?
Yes.
Me, I haven't.
Me too.
Music, I
cancelled
haven't.
music.
It's still R. Kelly music. I jam it. I enjoy it. Does it mean I approve what he did? No.
Music carries different emotions.
Yes. There's a lot of music you can listen to
Yeah.
without supporting such a perpetrator.
Let me
You're
ask
not
you a question.
supporting.
Let me ask
I
you a
mean, you
question.
listening to it is
No.
support.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not
It
support.
is.
It's not
nothing to do
support.
with him.
It is.
No, it's not.
Okay,
it's
look
not
at it
support.
this way.
Uh-huh.
You see how we are separated in these arguments.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Bill are having a different thought than Nina and Queen, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I listen to R. Kelly's music, to some level, if I know the guy and I am a fan of the guy, I can enjoy his music without being a fan of him. There are so many artists that I listen to their music. I'm not a fan of them. I don't care what they do. I don't know anything about their life. I have no business following that. But the music is good. And there are a lot of artists that I'm a big fan of, that some I don't listen to their music as much, and some I still listen to their music as much. As I can separate that artist to the music that they are giving, and in most cases when I'm a big fan of someone's music, it's attached to how I felt when I discovered the music or the emotions I'm carrying when I listen to that music. But it's nothing to do with the person they are.
How you consume music is not in debate here. Yeah? Music can be consumed. Music is supposed to be emotive. It's a language in itself.
Yeah.
It's a language to express how you feel and then whatever. Anyway, it's an emotive language, yeah? Your loyalty to the artist is not what we are debating as well,
No.
right?
No.
The artist has committed some injustices. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Committed them in the time that he was producing this music, doing this particular craft. Right? These things happened then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think me listening to the music, based off how I consume the music, he's going to make money by me listening to that.
Exactly.
Right? I personally do not feel that. I don't personally feel like. I feel like. I feel like it's human beings, not human beings, but I feel like we should also believe in our capacity to adjust. We should adjust because there's no.
What are we adjusting to?
You know, like, I don't want to shit on your taste in music or anything. I'm just saying, like, there's so much other stuff you can consume, right? That is the person who is producing that content. Yes, we don't know everything about everyone. I know that can come up, right? But it's more responsible. Yeah,
It's more responsible.
the
how?
person is responsible.
The person.
I
Okay.
don't feel
Yeah.
R. Kelly was responsible, one, with his power, the power that he had when he was at the top of his game, right? He did not use that opportunity responsibly, right? And for that reason, I cannot support even his craft. Yeah. The same way, if we sit here at this podcast and you do something like the three guys, what are they called? The guys who then one was cheating with our crew. What are they?
The try guys.
The try guys,
Yeah,
right?
The try guys.
Then I say I'm still going to continue
Who are
with the
the
podcast.
try guys?
Wait first, some other
For
guys.
those who don't know who
Yeah,
try
for those
guys
who
are.
don't know.
Yes.
Then I hear
Yeah.
that Bill did this and this, or Bill is doing this and this, and then I say, but this podcast serves good. I can still sit in this sitting with Bill,
Yeah.
right? I am fueling your lifestyle in a sense. I am participating in that lifestyle, even though I'm not directly doing those things with them. I am in compliance with what you're doing.
Yeah, you're complacent.
I'm complacent, with what you're doing, yeah. And that for me, from where I see it, is not something that I personally do.
Two things. Is that a principle you apply across everything?
Yes.
Lies.
Give me an
You con-
example.
for example, oil.
Oil?
So let's say, for example, oil. Oil that we consume, oil for
Ya
our
kupika.
cars, oil for our cars.
Oh.
You mean
Is it
petroleum?
fuel, like petroleum oil?
Eh.
Like, for example, we have oil that are coming from questionable areas.
Uh-huh.
Like, people did questionable things
Uh-huh.
to get that oil.
Uh-huh.
You get it? Yes, and you've consumed it and you've put it in your car to some level.
Uh-huh.
So how is that? You're still facilitating the lifestyles or helping these people make money from doing cruel stuff.
Do I know that?
Sorry?
Do I know that?
It's there in the market.
So tell me somewhere where now the oil that is coming is
No, why are you not?
adulterated.
Why are you not taking the same responsibility to go and filter and so on? Okay,
Yeah,
that aside.
uh-huh.
That aside, that was number one.
Okay.
My question was, I don't think you can practice the same principle across. I don't think it's not humanly possible. You have to
Okay.
be biased. Shelve that.
Okay,
That's
okay,
number
I'll
one.
come back.
You'll come back.
I'll
to
come
it.
back to that.
Number two, when R. Kelly did whatever he did, what was your, for you ideally, what is the punishment that you feel like it's ideal for him?
I think he's serving his time.
So that's enough punishment for whatever crimes he did.
I'm not going to look at it that way. Yeah?
Why?
Yeah? Because it's one person who are the people he committed these crimes against. Yeah? It's not just one person. So there's no, like, if we could return back what was taken to that, for that one person, then we'd say, okay, fine. R. Kelly amesema, sorry, his sins are forgiven, right? But so many people were affected by this. Yeah? Multiple people, not just one person.
By his,
Right?
his
Yes.
negative.
His sins were many
Yes,
against many people, right?
Yes.
Makosa
Sins
yake
of
ni
our
mingi na
father.
imefanyiwa
Watu
watu
wengi.
wengi.
Yeah.
Watu wengi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Me, as someone who, obviously, I'm not God, I cannot punish him. I'm also human like him.
But you're punishing him.
How?
You,
How? By not
you're not
listening to his-
consuming to his
listening to
music.
his
Yes.
music.
He
You're
should not be
punished.
punished.
See, he still has people like you and
No, but
Edu
no,
are
she's
listening
saying.
to him.
I am
His
saying-
music.
she
He's
can't- she
okay.
can't
He's doing
punish.
fine.
I
eh?
can't punish in
Yeah.
the because you've asked what is
Yeah.
what how
would be
will
the
we
punishment?
equalize the injustice is what you're asking.
No, I want you to tell me, like, for example, for this injustice, how would you punish this injustice?
What is the purpose of punishing?
Because it's wrongdoing, right?
So what am I punishing? The person.
The person, yes.
For the purpose of what?
The injustices that he did.
What will me punishing them do? Am I punishing them for them to feel the same thing? Am I making the people who... let me finish.
That's my question to you. I want you to tell me, like, what is the... These are the injustices.
I cannot quantify it. I cannot quantify it for this reason.
Why? Huh?
Yeah? The law is there, and the law, I believe, is sufficient. Right? So the law should be applied to him.
Yeah.
Right? I do not... Quantifying the punishment for me is irrelevant. I just don't think he should go scot-free.
But he's not scot-free, right?
He's not scot-free.
Yes.
Yeah? So since I'm not there in a position to say, no, me, I think you should cut off his balls and do this and this and this. No. The law should be able to do that, right? Because there's nothing that can be done. There's no punishment that can be done that will replace what has already been taken from the people he's hurt.
True.
Yeah? So saying that it should look like this and look like this, and then, so what about the people who've
So
been hurt?
exactly my point. So that means, like, for us not listening to the music, it's not... we are not adding to a specific quantity of punishment to R. Kelly. You get what I mean? We are not going against the punishment that he's been served. You get it? He's in prison. Is it lifetime, Mama? It's life. He's serving in prison. So for me, listening to music, it doesn't make the punishment less. Do you get what I mean?
I understand
Consume
that,
it,
yeah.
yes.
I guess it's just a difference of moral compasses at this point, what we're arguing about, yeah? Not to say that your moral compass is less or better, it's different.
Yes.
It is different.
Yes.
Yeah? It is different. Now the question is, do you apply the same thing on things that personally affect you?
Do I apply?
That same theory that, okay, me doing this thing is not taking away from the punishment or adding to it. Do you apply that same?
Almost. Not. I can't say I apply in everything. I'm biased. But I try to have like a... This is how I go about... If something has been done, this is how I'll go about doing things. Like, for example, if something similar would have happened to... If my brother was the perpetrator of, like, for example, my father, how would I respond to it compared to me responding to R. Kelly? Do you get what I mean? So I have to treat both incidences the same. Like how the acts that I'm using to judge these people have to be the same. Why? Because I feel like the injustice that this person is doing to the young girls is the similar injustice that my brother is doing to young girls. It doesn't make any difference because it's somebody I don't know or maybe it's somebody I know.
I'm not convinced.
What are you not convinced about?
I'm not convinced that you apply it across the board.
I'm saying I try to. At the same time, I've accepted I'm very biased. You get it? I'm a biased human being.
Ninah has something to say. She's
Okay,
been
go
thinking
on.
about it.
No, I'm honestly trying to understand like where Bill sits. Yeah, you're biased. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
You're biased.
Yes.
So you pick sides. That's what biased means. You pick
Yes,
sides.
sometimes, yes.
Bill, you cannot ask me absolute questions and then answer with sometimes. Me, I'm asking you an absolute question. Do you
But-
pick sides, yes or no? But then you'll get to explain.
Bias means you tend to lean.
Towards
You pick a side,
No,
towards
no,
a
you-
side. Listen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah,
But you lean more towards.
you've leaned on that side. You're not.
You leaning is
You're not
your
on the
choice
fence
of the
about
thing.
it.
Yeah.
You've leaned
You
towards the
leaning is
side.
your choice.
It's a choice that
Potato,
you've
potato.
made
Yeah.
to be closer to that identity.
Yeah.
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 You lean towards being a kind person. You lean towards being a good person, right?
Yes.
Which means you prefer to be identified as a good or a kind person.
Yeah. So he has his biases.
He has his
Yes, I
bias,
have my biases.
right?
Yes.
You have your biases.
Yes.
If you have your biases, it means you have the capacity to investigate,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And make an informed
Conclusion or decision.
decision.
Yes.
And your decision can lean towards one side
Or the
or
other.
another side.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yes.
We are on the same page
Same page.
with that,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Then in that same breath, you say you try your best,
Yeah.
right? To spread your unbiasedness across the board and look at things critically. Yeah? So what you're saying, you think critically, but you still make a choice based off your
I'm
You
capable
lean
of.
towards your bias.
you lean towards a bias. You have the ability to think critically.
I have the ability. Yes. Yes.
Yes. And
But
your ability to think critically is informed, right? By your exposure, your conditioning, right? And your understanding and observation of the world. Venye wewe unaona vitu
Yes.
ndio uta create bias yako.
How I measure and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So what you have done with the R. Kelly stories, you have leaned towards the side of you can separate the artist from the craft. You've separated them.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
The crime should not be applied to the craft.
Yeah. That is what
No,
your-
no, no.
That is what your
No, wait,
leaning
Bill.
indicates. Yeah.
I get what you mean. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes?
But I'm
Yeah.
at the
The
same
criminal should not be the criminal is doing the craft.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But the criminal in the craft
Yes.
is we're just going to observe the craft.
No, you see now.
Yeah.
That is me. How I measure it.
Wait.
Me, yes, yes.
I'm collecting you.
Yes.
Collecting you so that
Properly.
we are on the same page.
Yes. Yes.
Let me even sit upright. My mama said, when you're
Okay.
talking serious things, you sit upright.
Yes.
And you speak into the mic.
Yes, I'll do
Yes.
my best. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So your bias is clear in this sense.
Yes.
For you have, based off your critical thinking, yeah, you can separate the two.
Yes.
So what informs that?
What informs
Explain to me what informs how you came to the decision that you can separate the two. Right? Where you can take R. Kelly, where you watch his music, you see him, you know what he has done, and you disconnect
still able
the person who's actually doing that thing, and the crimes is
Becau-
committed, and then the music. Right? And you're like, me, I'm just listening to the music. The music is being made by who?
R. Kelly,
Who is there?
the perpetrator or the
criminal.
The criminal. He's a criminal. Yes, the criminal.
Yeah,
yes.
he's a criminal.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So that's a bias.
Yes.
Yeah? So your critical thinking that goes across the board was not fully applied for this one. If we're leaning towards the side of you try to.
No, me. The only difference between me and you is me. I've managed to separate the two, the artist and the artist, the artist and the
Artistry.
artistry
And the craft.
the craft. Yes. So for you, you want everything to be bundled together.
No.
For me, okay. For me, this is how I'm looking at it. This is R. Kelly, and this is the music. You get it? This is R. Kelly. Behind the scenes, behind this music, he was doing so many other things. You get it? But I'm looking at it. I'm like, doing these so many other things behind the scene was not the fuel to this music.
I mean, it's indicated
Everyone
in a
is
bit
creative.
of the music. Yeah.
It's sorry.
Some of the music alludes to a lot of the crimes
the
that
some.
he was
Some.
committing. Yeah.
Some,
Ain't
but
nothing but a
you
number.
see, we are speculating. You get what I mean? It's not proven that all these other things that was done behind the scene was the fuel to this music.
Okay.
I think Bill has a good point.
He has a point.
Yeah, he has
He
a
has a
point.
point.
Doesn't have to be good.
Yeah. He has a point.
Uh-huh.
I see his point. I sat on that side at some point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
For me, if you're far removed from R. Kelly, you can say that.
If I'm far,
You're far removed from him, right?
I don't understand.
You're
that.
a fan.
Yes.
You're not going to go and tell R. Kelly. I can't give R. Kelly a piece of my mind
Yes. Yes. Yes.
based off my feelings about his
Yes, yes,
actions.
yes,
Right?
yeah.
Neither can you tell him you support him even though he committed those crimes.
Yes.
So we are far removed from it.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
In the event that I'm not even far removed, whatever from where I sit from the person,
Yes.
the moment you have committed a crime, I do not think I should play around with anything that has to do with you or you.
So-
right?
That is you, or that's how it's supposed to be done?
I never say anything that is how it's supposed to be. Me, I'm saying
That is
me.
you. Okay.
Me.
Cool.
Me from where I sit.
Okay.
Yeah. If today I learned that same thing I gave with the podcast, right? Bill is doing some shady shit.
Yes.
Yeah? There's nothing that will not come out to the light. I don't want to be associated knowing full well. If I did know, I can just come and laugh with you and go on. Knowing full well, be associated with something that has injustices attached to it. Right? I don't even want to get into the victim line of thought because we had
Yes.
that conversation the other time.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
The victims are the victims. The victims have to have a voice.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
You committed crimes.
Yes.
There were victims in your crimes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
That is a problem. That is a problem to me. Yeah? I am
To me too.
I am, yes.
Yes.
I'm,
Concur.
I didn't have the English word.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree. You cannot tell me that there's no other music you can listen to.
No, it's not about other music I can listen to.
I know,
It's
I
not,
know.
Don't go there. It's not about the other
Really,
choices.
don't go there.
Yes,
Why?
it's-
Let's
it's-
go.
Why?
No,
But
it's not
that is-
about
that
that.
is what the
That is-
conversation
yeah.
is about.
But no, let's
It
just
hasn't
stick.
been what
No,
it's
let's
been
just
about.
stick to whatever we're
It
trying to do.
is.
Let's
That is the
what
craft, but
talk
the
about-
music is the craft we're talking about.
No, but for me, I'm not. It's not about that. I was looking for music, and then R. Kelly's music happened to be the one that popped up first, and I didn't make an effort to look for other music. No, I'm just listening to R. Kelly's music. I appreciate his music. That's it. It has got nothing to do with R. Kelly. I just appreciate his music.
No,
I
you
still
can't
enjoy
say
it.
that.
Sorry,
You can't say that it has nothing to do with him, and he's the one who's making.
he's
Here's
the
the
one
thing,
who
yeah.
made it.
Yeah.
The thing about music,
He's the one
It
who
has
made
everything
it.
to do with him.
it's not just how you hear. There are some people who hear music and some people who listen to music.
And also that.
Listen, let me finish.
Okay, go on.
because
Sorry.
here's the thing, Nina. As much as there are biases, you have a bias as well.
I do.
It may be attached to emotion. It may be attached to just conditioning and all that other stuff. And I don't think even the law is biased because no one who was perfect made the law. No one who was perfect.
Law
Can
was
I
made
ask you
by
something?
human
Let me
beings.
Yeah.
finish.
No, I just want you so that you're able to direct your.
Uh-huh.
You can direct it to my question, yeah?
Yeah.
Without us going over it again. If your bias is towards the negative, how do we quantify that bias?
But
You
how?
have to define that negative.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to define the negative because listen.
Yeah?
R.
So,
Kelly
so,
did
so,
some-
so, so
some-
you define it as an individual, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a collective definition of what a crime is. Yeah?
Yes.
You can define it in any other way.
Yeah.
Yeah? So my leaning is towards the fact that injustices were committed, and I am not going to associate with someone who has the capacity to do such acts. That is my bias, right?
Okay.
So define for me your bias as someone who sits on the other side.
My bias here is I'm a selfish person.
Mm-hmm.
R. Kelly did some injustices. Fuck R. Kelly. When I'm feeling nostalgic and there's some music that he produced that spoke to me, I'm not going to associate R. Kelly with at any single point. That happened at that time when the music when I connect to the music, and when I need to go back to that moment, I'm going to look for that music and listen to it. Responsibility might be me choosing to pirate that shit instead of going to some platforms that are going to send money to his account when I'm listening to the music.
That's another
Yeah.
interesting
So
question. That's another interesting question.
Specifically
That's
pirate,
all-
R.
yeah.
Kelly
Yes.
pirate, but
I pirated
everything
that
else is
shit
on Spotify.
because-
But because
Yeah?
I'm
I'm telling you,
that
I'm
justify
selfish
it,
in this
though.
way.
It would not
Exactly.
justified.
When I need to connect to that exact moment that I connected to the music, when I need to channel it, I'm not going to look at R. Kelly and what he did. Responsibility will be me pirating that shit, but one way or the other, I'm going to find my way. And it's got nothing to do with this man. I don't support what he did. And it's not that it's not about there's no other music that I can listen to. I listen to all the other music that I need to listen to. But at a certain point, that music, I remember that music, it was a hit, and I listened to it. It's not that I heard it, so maybe he was even maybe the fuel for the message in the music was from that stuff. Like age is a number that people say every time. But how I connected to that music at that time, the message it came out, I'm going to want to connect to that moment. And the music, the person that he embodied to produce that music, that's what I want to channel. That's why I'm
Okay.
saying music.
Thank you so much.
music cuts
And
across.
I feel like there's this narrative that has been floated around that simply means if you listen to R. Kelly's music, you are supporting or you are okay with whatever he did. That's not true. It's not true. Those two are not related at all. It doesn't mean that if you listen to music, you support or you're okay with. No, they are not related.
My
This is
question-
just based on, you know, Matt, I'm entertaining myself in this moment. Yes.
My question is like, why are you guys so attached to this music? Why is it so difficult to just
Or
like
I can
let
tell you
it
easily,
go?
first
Yeah?
and foremost,
Wh-
when I didn't know about the rumors and the stuff, I got to learn about them much later as I was, when
They're
it was
not
now
rumors,
becoming.
they're crimes now.
No, they started as rumors. Yeah, it was like it's a speculation, not a speculation. It's an, what's the word? It's an accusation until you're proven guilty. Now, there was so much of it on social media at a certain point, but it started early on. It's not something that started just the other day. It used to be spoken about, but when you're not someone who follows showbiz, there is no way you'll know about that shit. You know R. Kelly and you listen to R. Kelly when he comes on a Matatu playlist, or when you listen to him at the club, or when you have him on your playlist. His music,
His music that you guys
there was a
can't
point
let
where
go.
his music was so popular, and there's a way you connect to music in a certain way that it drives you through life in a sense. I felt very passionate about that coming to light, that I was so disappointed in the guy. I felt like that was such a huge letdown. I felt really bad when I heard the stories, I heard the rumors, and I saw the documentary. That was it for me. After I saw the documentary, I couldn't believe it, and it was heavy. It was heavy for me to feel that. That's how I disconnected from the person, and for me it's an easy thing. I can disconnect from you, and choose a responsible way of being selfish, and just make sure I get my way.
And also to answer, like, I feel like me, I'm capable to separate the two. There is something I was trying to Google. There's something called thinking errors. You know about thinking errors?
Tell me.
No, you'll research it. You know about thinking errors? You'll
don't.
research it. So there's something called it's all or nothing thinking. Like, for example, if let's say, I'm trying to look for a good
I know what
example.
all or nothing.
All or nothing, yes. And then there was also something called overgeneralizing. You get it? And then filtering out the positive. You get it? So, and then there's mind reading and so on and so forth. Like, these thinking errors are meant, let's say, for example, if we are driving, you get it? We are in a car. Both of us are driving. And then I'm the one driving. And then it just happens, there's a guy who's driving in front of us, happens to either brake hard or he makes us a dangerous maneuver. And then you go around, you label that driver as, this is a very stupid driver. No, that's not a stupid driver. That was a stupid move. You need to be able to separate the two. The fact that he is capable of a stupid move doesn't make him stupid. So that's a thinking error. So for me, I'm able to separate the two. Like, this is a human being who is capable and was and did these things. But it doesn't mean that if I listen to music, I'm supporting or I'm okay with whatever he did. I'm just entertaining myself. Like, my entertainment has got nothing to do with the R. Kelly that is in prison at the moment. Like, I'm just enjoying myself. Like, if I turned the music to the next artist who's Kevin Mbithi, I'll probably enjoying the music the same time, the same level. I'm just enjoying myself. It has got nothing to do with the artist. It's just a moment thing. Do you get it?
I
So
don't
to answer you.
I don't.
I know
I
you-
don't agree with that.
But
I feel
that's why I feel like maybe both of us feel like we can still consume the music and
No. I want to say something, and I don't know if I will be out of pocket saying it.
No,
but
say
I
it.
no,
will
it's
just
okay.
say
You
it,
go ahead. Yeah.
Hold on.
I need a break. This episode has been brought to you by Istiqbal. With over 60 years of manufacturing premium sofa sets, Istiqbal is the right furniture store in Nairobi for your furniture needs.
Welcome back to the Naked Ego podcast. Queen, take it over.
Okay. So I feel like it is obviously, it's not going to be popular opinion, but the ability to dissociate acts from personalities is a thing that men thrive on. Yeah, because okay, in my limited experience, or even in this experience of R. Kelly, where we're asking you just like, what is it that keeps taking you back to the music? And I don't feel like that question has been properly answered. Like, why is it that you can't let it go? And you're saying it's because you've dissociated the artist from the craft, right? But the crime was committed, and it was an injustice to several people. And when you support such kind of behavior, in as much as you think you listening to the music is not, you're not actively supporting it, but you're complacent and you're copacetic to the act if you're able to dissociate one thing from another. The thing is, in an idealistic sort of experience as a human being on earth, it would be the best place if people didn't commit acts of violence against other people. But that's not the world that we live in. So where I feel like where Nina and I are coming from is that in as much as justice in its limited sense has been served, there is no need to separate the artist from the craft. Because for as long as he exists in your mind as two separate entities, it's like he's not being held completely accountable for the crimes that he has committed. That is how I personally see it, right?
So I have a,
It's just, I don't understand where the challenge is. And if I can bring it even like closer to home, because like no man will ever admit that he knows a guy who does those things. Them men never know these people, right? But these people are not like they're amongst us. They're our relatives, they're our friends sometimes. And they know people, but that dissociation is what allows people like those to continue to thrive, because you want to see them as two separate entities when all of that is carried in one body and it's one person who's doing that thing.
You know,
And that's the end of the episode.
it's so easy to use that argument against you.
It is, you know,
No, it is.
it's for everyone. It's not
If,
even
if
just,
that's for
but
everyone,
like if you honestly just are critical about it, there is no need to do that. There's no need to play devil's advocate. And a wrong thing was done. I mean, you should be able to serve reparations to whoever was hurt or received this violence in any way, right? There's no need to create a separate character for his image and for the person who you know to continue to exist, right? While this other person is apparently also serving the term of the sentence that has been awarded unto them.
I have a question.
I have something to say, yeah? A palate cleanser. Yeah. Do you guys know how big Teletubbies are? That's my standard palate cleanser. Do you guys know how huge Teletubbies are? How
Do
big?
you know?
Like 8 feet.
oh shit, you meant size-wise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teletubbies.
Teletubbies, they are
Kina
huge.
Tinky Winky.
Kina Tinky Winky and Dipsy.
Oh, that's how huge they. Wait.
Yeah, I just saw that stuff on the internet. So they were like, the land where Teletubbies was being filmed was a huge piece of land because they could scale them. Yeah, because of how big the costumes were. Okay, 8 feet. I can't remember. Like they were huge. Like the head is the size of a whole human, right? Yeah, that's my fun fact of the year.
Interesting.
If you listen to music and if you listen to music that people listen to and popular music in the industry today, if you really bring yourself to self-awareness and listen to that music, there's a lot of twisted shit that people communicate in that music
True.
that shouldn't even be on air.
Mm.
But they are so popular, and people, even kids, sing along. People speak about shooting people on music. They go to court for allegations against doing certain things. They're not found guilty. They keep singing about the same shit. We sing along. We throw it in clubs. We put it in our playlists. There are people who listen to music for entertainment. There are people who consume it as entertainment. There are people who consume it for other reasons. But that shouldn't be a factor. When you consume that content, do you every single time associate it to the creator? Every single time.
Yes.
Every single time.
Yes, I try 100% too.
You try or it's
I mean, like, if it's something that I'm unaware of,
That's an unfair question.
that is, but
Yeah.
if
It's
I
not a-
know that the premise of the person, I'd completely, yeah.
If you know better, you do better,
Mm.
right? Also, not doing something is also doing something, right? You not taking an action is also an action in itself,
yeah.
right? For me, what is clear is that everyone's moral compass is informed by them, right? If you need to make a selfish decision for yourself to be entertained in that form, then that's that, right? That is your choice that you've made. My choice is that I'm not going to support that, yeah, based off the direction my moral compass points. Yeah, I think we can all agree to sit at that point.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a platform where men and women are willing to strip down their ego and be authentic and vulnerable while they share their stories. This is the Naked Ego Podcast. Thank you for listening.